Hello there. Today we'll talk about how to get back with your wife if she has cheated on you. Many people wonder if it's possible to get back together in such a situation. The answer is yes. Despite the fact that this is definitely a difficult situation, there is a way out of it if you know what to do. First, let's try to figure out why your wife cheated. This will help you avoid the same thing happening in the future. Most likely, she's been unhappy for a while, and your relationship has worsened over time. Many men don't pay attention to the emotional side of their marriage until something shocking happens. Since infidelity is so painful, it is pain that gets you out of ignoring the situation and into the acting mode. If you try to ignore the pain, you will only do more damage. Are you ready for change, or do you want to keep on suffering? I've heard many of my clients say that it's the other man's fault, and as soon as he's gone, everything will be better. But that's not the case. Nothing will be better if you don't work on it. Many men act like ostriches, preferring to hope that everything will improve on its own. That is not the case. If you don't make radical changes, you will not be happy. Answer this question. Which of your past decisions brought upon the situation you are in right now? If you want to create a happy future for yourself, you need to reevaluate your decisions and change. I'll talk a bit about substitute relationships. Most likely, your wife likes you for many of your qualities. You definitely have something that used to fill her with positive emotions, but she probably has forgotten about those qualities or hasn't paid attention to them lately. There's also something that she's lacking, some sort of a feeling. You probably gave her this feeling at the beginning of your relationship, but don't give it to her anymore for some reason. So she's sad and lonely. And at this precise moment, another man comes into her life and helps her feel that she's wanted and needed. He brings happiness and romance into her otherwise mundane life. Often, this is what a substitute relationship is. The new man gives her what she's been missing in her marriage. Most likely, this man is the first one that came along, and it's not very likely that the relationship will lead to marriage, although that is possible. Don't pull your hair out because your wife found another man. Yes, it's difficult to accept this situation, but it's important that you pull yourself together and start acting in a way that you can change it. Since your emotions are probably all over the place at the moment, I recommend you start with working on that aspect first. If you are very emotional, it will be difficult to act according to plan, no matter how good of a plan it is. Maybe it's even best to see a therapist who can help you get into a good state of mind. You can also find techniques on working with your feelings in the book Get Your Wife Back by Sergio Ariz and Gary Ideal. After you've prepared yourself emotionally, here's the plan to get back with your beloved. The first thing you need to do is distance yourself from her. If you keep chasing her and begging her to come back in this unpleasant situation, it will only lower your attractiveness in her eyes. It's very important right now to minimize how much you communicate with her and instead work on yourself. Here's your task. You have to become such an interesting and attractive man that your wife realizes that she made a mistake by cheating on you. This will make her fear losing you. Step 1. Raise your value in her eyes. Step 2. Get her back and make your relationship a truly happy one. If you try to move on to step 2 before you make yourself more valuable in her eyes, you will fail. Imagine a shy, poorly dressed man who's trying to pick up a beautiful woman at a club. The fact that he's shy and not sure of himself will only push her away. This is how you will look in your wife's eyes if you try to get her back without changing yourself first. Pay some attention to your shortcomings and work on them. Analyze the problems you've had. What did your wife complain about? Write her complaints out and see what makes them similar. Whatever it is that she talked about most often is most likely the reason for your relationship going downhill. Also, ask yourself, was there an imbalance in your relationship? Men often go to extremes. Either they don't love themselves and do everything for their wives, or they don't value their spouses and only pay attention to what they themselves want. Both of these behaviors are detrimental to a happy relationship. After you understand the reason for the problems you're having, you can start correcting them. Only then will you have a fighting chance to get your wife back. To succeed in reconciliation, you need to demonstrate your new and attractive image to your wife. The problem is that if you just tell her that you've changed, she is not likely to believe you. This will also not make her attracted to you. I recommend you use the method of indirect influence, the essence of which is to show your wife that you've changed without talking about it. The best channels to broadcast your changes over will be social media, people that surround her, and with special messages, the templates for which you can find by following the link below this video to the book, Get Your Wife Back. After your wife starts believing in your positive changes, you can begin getting close to her again. But don't talk about restoring your relationship right away. Just spend some time together and enjoy it. Imagine that you're on your first date. Don't rush, and understand that you will need time to rekindle the love you once had for each other. If you need a detailed plan for how to get your wife back, follow the link below this video. If you still have questions, write them in the comments section and I'll be happy to answer them. Subscribe and like our channel, and you will help us create new material. Good luck in getting your beloved back.